Welcome everyone to the third session of Mahamudra teachings of this fall session of teachings from Lama Lodu Rinpoche. This third session covers Mahamudra based on the Uttara-tantra Shastra written by the Maitreya Bodhisattva and on the songs of the great yogi Milarepa. If you have questions to be answered at the end of the talk, please type them into the chat session, and Lama Chuing will convey the questions to Rinpoche at the end of the teaching if there's time for questions. So welcome Rinpoche. Thank you so much for your most wonderful teachings, and we look forward to hearing more from you today.
Thank you very much, Leah, your introduction, and thank you for Lama Chuing. Okay, so we'll start now. Yes?
Ready to go.
Okay, thank you. Well, as I'm supposed to be finishing last week, but I think I stopped. That was not finishing completely what I think have programmed, because as there is, when it can talk endlessly these things, but at a certain point you have limited, shortening, easy for people to fit in them and familiarize them. Some people, new people, it doesn't make too much sense when I'm talking, or they have reading book or lesson teaching before, and these people have a little bit of the sense of what I'm talking about, because this is a little bit extraordinary. Also I use a lot of different form too sometimes. Anyway, so yes, Mahamudra is that's the kind of, after all, what Buddha taught in 84,000 Dharma teaching, that was condensed into, we call Mahamudra. So some our tradition as like Kajupa's Mahamudra is quite a bit, squeeze all the meaning of the Buddhist teaching into the one called Mahamudras. It's Mahamudra is kind of, Maha is great. Mudra is a gesture. You see, that's what it means. But there is more behind of that. The meaning is become more very profound. And so I will try to go around this today to make sure this makes a little sense for you, I hope. We'll say, now beginning. Junin this evening today. So that, there's a, Jewel Ornament Liberation also say, Jud this evening was he talking about. Among them, he listed the 6 different kind of point, but this is the first point he listed. Junin this evening today, then Jenin gave him this. Tabnin di damate. All this dual element of liberation is condensed into this 8. So the first time he listed was Yuddha worship Nyingpo, which means that Tathagata Garba. Tathagata Garba is a kind of, it is drawn to the Buddha, to nature of the mind actually, to nature of the mind. It's Tathagata Garba. Tathagata is a Buddha. Garba is the heart of the enlightenment. So that is kind of what Buddha taught in the sutra. Every living being have that nature. So that means every living being have the 2 seat or 2 nature of the Buddha, which means basically they have the Buddha. Everybody have this Buddha, everybody. But it is kind of have to understanding this. It is all the living beings who have the consciousness or mind. So every being, this being have the Buddha nature, meaning they have Buddha seat of the Buddha. They are the future Buddha. They are the kind of potential to get enlightenment, Buddha. And they do have the seat of Buddhas. So that's because Tathagata Grava, that meaning is not meaning we only have. Also, Lord Buddha Shakyamuni and the three, many times Buddha have passed nirvana, get enlightenment, and this is the kind of fourth Buddha, Shakyamuni Buddha, also get enlightenments. Because he also had the Buddha natures. So as he has Buddha nature, we all sentient beings do have, all sentient beings have this Buddha natures. Only the kind of sooner or later, depending your diligence, your patience, and your, how much you applying the path method to achieve that. So that to defending that. Otherwise, every living being can be attaining enlightenment. It's not like earth, fire, wind, water, and space, but those have not have Buddha nature. They do not have Buddha nature, such as like tree, flower, rock, and these have no Buddha nature. So they have no seat of the enlightenment. Never get those, say, unintimate and intimate. So unintimate, which is not have the Buddha nature, they don't have the mind. They cannot produce the karma. They are kind of impermanent and repeating seed to seed again. You planting the rice, come up rice. Million times you put the rice seed, million times rice grow, rice come. Because there nothing change. Rice to changing different things, but only you fertilize and taking care very well, they become bigger, they get producing more seed, lots of seed, but never change, rice change to something else. So that is a show to all unintimate who have no mind, those being, those things are not, this is not the being, this is thing, are not have potential to get enlightenment, and they have affected by karma. They are just out of these, lines. They are no Buddha nature. And other than that, whoever living, even Chinese insect moving down in the earth, they have the mind, so they have Buddha nature. So all living beings want to be happiness. And all living beings want to get rid of the suffering, So that is the kind of due to their mind, the applying to happiness and unhappiness, and the feeling or experience of the happiness or unhappiness. So that is kind of, normally we can kind of also kind of separate it, non-being and beings, So that all the being has the Buddha nature, that meaning they will be getting enlightenment. They will have the potential to get enlightenment. So that Buddha says every living being have the Buddha natures because of that, But again, we say the Lord Buddha Shakyamuni is now enlightenment. Past Buddha is enlightenment. Their Buddha nature and our Buddha nature, no different. More or less. No more, no less. The same. Even our Buddha nature and the hell realm sentient beings, Buddha nature, same. No different. We are same, you see. So that, why that we are not enlightenments? That's the question come up to, because that we are look like same. Buddha, we have same nature. That Buddha become pre-enlightenment, and we are suffering pain here. So why that was? Because we do have some kind of Buddha nature obscured by temporary stain. It doesn't mean that forever there. It's a temporary stain, because temporary stain is movable. But we don't have the getting the first place precious human body. We don't, many beings have no precious human body. Even precious human body doesn't have the condition in giving them proper teaching and proper background. And so proper path, even you make the path can be mistaken, misleading, all these things they cannot able to follow the path to get liberation, but even they do have seat. So this is the problem here. What is different than Buddha and us? So, is it Buddha again the same, the dual element liberation keeps saying, and then Uttara-tantra Shastra will give more about these things. So the quote I'm not remembering because I'm not studying this, prepared this talk. Because what I'm remembering, that is my recall of my memory, I'm just talking directly that way. So that's my problem. Maybe I should be studying more like ready to give talk. And I don't do that. I'm sorry for that. Anyway, but here, Uttara Shastra Tantra have lots of different example giving there. How the Buddha natures pervade with all sentient beings. And so the first place, how he says that, one is he give the milk. Very simple way I can say, but there's lots of other examples too. The milk is the milk, so cow milk. The cow milk do have the butter. But when you see the milk, you don't see the butter. And so therefore you call milk, it's liquid, So the milk do have the butter nature. So why this butter nature has come separately from the milk? Due to we need to condition there. So when you have our mind is like milk, then Buddha nature is worth our mind. So whenever in mind, there's Buddha natures. And you can see the milk, there is the butter. But it is butter, but you don't see the butter there. So that case, that's the way our Buddha nature is obscure because of the butter is completely pervaded with the milk, but does not have the distinguished butter and milk. The same things, our all sentient being Buddha nature is obscured by the obscurations. Obscuration obscure the Buddha nature, so therefore Buddha nature is separate. Buddha nature is kind of not able to manifest it, So that case, what we need to milk come out of the milk, make butter. What you do is store the milk, The milk have to become yogurt, then use yogurt, you store certain point, your effort of your storing milk, the butter can separate it. At that time, butter come from the milk, but butter is more solid and milk is like liquid. Where come from this milk is butter is from the milk. So how the butter abide with the milk? Same as our Buddha nature abide with our confusion, consciousness, and mind. So that way, so Buddha nature is completely separated and distinguished. The butter is completely butter. Buddha is completely free from the obscurations, dualistic concept, conceptualization, all these things, completely free and root of all the egos. So Buddha is forever, Buddha is kind of removed the obscuration, who obscure the true nature of the Buddha by the temporarily obscurations, So Buddha is completely Buddha because they completely purify, completely free go through the path, So how do you store the milk to give that butter? So we have to, through the method, relative and absolute, the Buddha taught there lots of relative truth, and also absolute truth, that this will call accumulation of merit, accumulation of the wisdom. This is the kind of method to bring Buddha freeing from the dualistic concept ego. So then when you completely remove our ego, and Buddha is forever enlightenment. So Buddha is enlightenment forever. And we have the seed of the Buddha. Seed of Buddha is not freeing from this obscuration and defilement. That's the problem we have. So that's why you are understanding how our Buddha nature is avoiding within our minds. That's why he's understanding. So our obscuration is the more problem to not seeing the Buddha nature, So that's some, the more example giving the Uttara Shastra Tantra, and also goal, or, goal is under stone, inside the stone and goal, but you're not seeing the goal. But when you grab the rock, who skewed the stone and gold skewed by the rock. So when you rub it, at a certain point, exhausted all the rock, then gold come outside. But once gold is located in the rock, and the rock will cover the gold, then you not see the gold. But whether you see or not see, gold is always there. But only the rock, obscure, cover the gold, you don't see. So this is all the other way, example like how a Buddha nature will be abiding in ordinary people. So these are quite very simple way to understanding that is the kind of Buddha nature. So Buddha's teachings always discovering, Buddha teachings always result is to attain state of the Buddha, obtain Buddha. But that is again later we'll talk about. There's nothing to obtaining because already obtained there. You have to discover only. That's the way we say later. But anyway, so these is very important for us to know we do have the potential of the Buddha that we can get enlightenments. So this need to be have, of course, we need to have every living being have Buddha nature. The next question is every living being doing get enlightenment there. And maybe the delayed enlightenment because their condition. Every living being have no faith, trust, part of the Buddha. Every living being have not known how to accumulate merit and how to accumulate wisdom. All these things are the, anyone, those living beings who have Buddha nature, thousands of the great master, skillful master to teach them to get enlightenment, they will not understanding a word, what they say, because they are due to their, being born as a different realm, and there is no that kind of the teachings exist in the world. Most of them are the more sorrowful and painful, different realm. So they have Buddha nature doesn't mean they are capable to get enlightenments. They need more condition than that realm. So we human being is the more have the fortunate, we call, because the human being, Buddha nature equal to other beings, but at the same time we have existence of this life. Our body is human body. Human body and human have the more intelligent, beginning with, knows, what the best for make happiness, what the best avoiding suffering. So those people are the human being are the kind of more fortunate and good condition. They are capable to get enlightenment. They use a proper way, if you use accordingly. But again, being a human being, every human being doesn't get enlightenment because some human beings, human body, but they have an animal mind. Even talk Dharma, they will not accept it, Dharma. And sometimes they kind of make the fun and make the put down Dharma, and they don't believe that. So they have Buddha nature there, but at the same time, their condition doesn't allow them. So these even human being cannot say everybody is a precious human being. Born in human being, they can do more negative karma, Other realms have not too much positive. They cannot do too much positive. But also sometimes they cannot do too much negative because due to their motivation, they're not really, motivation is innocent motivations. They are not motivated. If they do something bad, they don't motivate to do bad. It's bad happenings. Even they're doing good things, they automatically doing it, but they're not motivating saying this is doing good. But the human being at least know this is right or wrongs. But certain human being, but some human being is even they deny those things. That case that with the nature have to have human body where you have perfectly in this also you can learn and need the same sums. There is also condition they giving. This is kind of again Joel Alderman Liberation is saying that learn and need the same sums. So these conditions we need is 5 different conditions. What you need from a body condition to a condition necessary. Learn and need meaning the body having 2 conditions. To that condition, the Talwa Gyat and Jorba choose 8 freedom, 10 endowment. These 2 have to perfect human being who have that. It is the perfect human body, So this condition necessary, the bodily conditions. Same sums meaning the mentally 3 conditions needed. That 3 condition is 3 type of devotion. I think last time we talked about that. That 3 from the mind, 3 from the body. This condition have to be gathered. Tengai in intention dus, and Gampopa say, these 5 conditions make you are excellent, existent. You're capable to get into Dharma and get into liberations. So that is to say that so the human, especially the human Buddha nature, the already you have, but addition you have this condition. So this condition again, not easily to get there. So that means not easy to get. It is very rare to get. So therefore it's precious, priceless, hard to get. Up to you get, it will be very valuable. Valuable, you can get enlightenments. No problem to get anything you want in this lifetime because you have that capable, this condition. But not only that, you can get enlightenment for everlasting happiness. So these are the kind of you get through those conditions. Those conditions is necessary, for the to get. So, so after we talking about this case, now we go to we call Mahamudra. Mahamudra. We talk about Shine practice. I did a little bit giving last karma abiding practice. Those are very good, if you can do it. But that Shine practice is kind of which can contribute to actually you can get inside Vipassana practice. So when Vipassana practice become very well, and then they will bring you easily to Mahamudra practice, So they are kind of, one can support another, It is, Vipassana is like, Shamatha is like the star, Vipassana is like the moon, and Mahamudra like the sun, you see. So the star give little light. The moon get more bright light. But then again, sun shining light is great. There's no great light than any other. So sun is more bright. So similar light, the Mahamudra is kind of top. So that is first you need to start. First you are in the dark. Star can see a little bit. And then you get more star, you can see something, but not clearly. But when the moon is shining, that will see more detail. So moon cannot see some, but in sunlight, the more kind of bright and shining, see things whatever in there. So that's where it kind of different level. It's so necessary beginning you have to have some kind of samatha practice very well. That is the basic foundation. Of course, before the samatha practice, you must have the great merit purifications, great accumulation merit, great accumulation wisdom. Those are the necessary to have the condition to, again, your calm abiding samatha practice become more precise and perfect. And you can see the obstacle and hindrance to your practice. They can see very clearly. And when you applying the remedy, because you can do it, because you have a strength to get from the merit and wisdom that make any obstacle come, they can clearly see, and also the remedy will make them completely subside. So that's make the samatha become easy to develop. So that case, you cannot just say practice samatha practice, calm abiding practice, then you ignore onto the relative practice such as the merit purification and viewing emptiness. All these things is I cannot deny. Those are the kind of helping you on the path. So then you have more, you get that one, and then you get the Vipassana practice more easily, emptiness, less doubt, more deeper. You can see the meditation. So that is the very important up there, because that you can see when karmically you can see when you have something the negative, bodily negative, and that negative will be caused to your body to uncomfort. When you uncomfort your body, can you concentrate it? You can't. In order to get concentration, you must have some kind of, the great merit and purification behind. And so that is the way it works. So when you have do a positive, karmically positive action you do, that's now you physical action, you do positive things, and that's result cause to you physically calm and clear and comfortable no matter what you do. So that comfortable of the physical can bring your mind peace and calm. And then you go ahead to practice. You can able to practice concentrated immediately. Don't need a preliminary even. It's a short time. It started immediately. You get lots of duration of you live your mind and the concentrations. So all these things make you cannot deny one thing's only the helpful. But this all is written by the way you have to do. And so that case, we talk about this samatha, then vipassana is also analytical vipassana meditation. We did it because of the last time we talked about a little bit emptiness, different view of the different school. So that is also kind of, I cannot say it's detailed, but it is kind of unavoiding, not avoiding the subject there continually. So now we're talking about meditation of the Mahamudra term. Later we'll talk about more. There's more than just meditating, And so Jamgyal Kongtrul Rinpoche's first very simple way, he gives something here to Mahayana practice. So this is kind of this is the Jamgyal Kongtrul Rinpoche, his own meditation. He wrote some meditation text, knowledge of the treasure, part of the meditation, Gomrim, called state of meditation. That was specifically a few words, which I always, I think, are very useful. So he says that, Chidan Yamja Omen Tensoshin, Mega Nangat the Tanga Jews. Jeda Yamja Omen Tensoshin. So anyway, he says, whenever you want to set your mind to equipoise or relax, look and meditating on emptiness. So that is, very much principle. You have to understanding of the Madhyamikas, avoiding extreme existence and non-existence. So that is very important to get some kind of the sense of the, these Madhyamikas idea, that's very important. So principle is the meditation, is the meaning of the Madhyamika, So this, in order to know the meaning of the Madhyamaka, you have to say that you have to briefly you analyze. Briefly you sort of kind of investigate it. What is the real mind is. So after you have investigated a little by like, and we talk about a little bit on that. So then you say, let mind to unimpededly relax your mind like sky. So that is miga, meaning that, you know, it's kind of something you should not having rejecting something there. And also not accepting some sense. But what you do to relax your mind is to meditate on like sky. Mega nangata meaning let your mind relax on the unimpeded space. That's the process, he said, that meditation begins. In that case, the Vipassana practice we're talking about now. So in that case, last time we talked about investigation, simple way. So that way, look around that way, self of the phenomenon, and then selfish of the selflessness, you know, so it makes disintegrated all selfish into selflessness of the individual and the selflessness of the phenomenon. So that last time we briefly talk about. So that all investigation is investigating or analyzing them. And finally, you find nothing, relax unimpededly, just like sky, space. So that is kind of direct going into insight, Vipassana there. And then second stage, he says that it's also he says kind of, Teljur Gomje Ching Gomja laws. So Teljur is kind of another stage of the Madhyamikas, which is higher. So Gomje Ching Gomja laws. Now this is kind of very interesting things that he says, how you relax your mind in that case. Gomje Ching means that what you are meditating is dharmata. Who's meditating the dharmata is your mind. So the mind who meditating to dharmata, which is meaning total emptiness, whatsoever, total emptiness. That is you're meditating, but you're a meditator who are meditating the dharmata, emptiness. These two, he says, merge into one. Chula, chula, meaning that let your mind to dharmata and who meditating dharmata in one. An example of this is like when you put water to another water. Can you distinguish this water from another cup to another cup? It's become one. So then in that case, the meditator and meditation become in one, not making this meditator and meditations. So you have meditating and meditator, in this case, you are happy. There's object to meditation too, you know, so then result to meditation, then become more intellectual, conceptual. But this is a more higher madhyamika. They say, Gomje Ching Gomja Lo, Gomje Ching Gomja Lo, Chula Chuja Tabutul. So this is kind of water pouring to water, the meditator and meditations. Meditator is the one who meditating our our own tamalgishi, but normally we say the Mahamudra, but here we call mind. That is the meditator. What you meditating is emptiness, dharmakaya. So these two have to not make the two distinguished to, become in one. And how to make is the water pouring to water. Relax there. That is the kind of second need to get now, Jamgya Konturam, which is how do you meditate, But both have to be investigated, and analyzed. Yento mega results in something like that, he says, but so that is a yentong means other emptiness. So other emptiness, he says, the with great luminosity. Yentong mega results in Yentong mega means unimpededly. These other entities unimpededly within the great clear light. So that case there, a little bit, again, this Madhyamika has become Shantong and Madhyamika, other entities, emptiness part. So these have been lots of things discussed in there too. So that is the kind of the Uttara Shastra Tantra says that let's see, the Lobertament Kamtongi, Lamechiki Tongmayins. So this case, saying, see, positive, Madhyamika, second Mahamudra is completely, totally emptiness without any kind of subject and object and actions, total emptiness there. But the last, the emptiness giving some clear light there, So that case that you can see that Uttara Shastra kind of being distinguished there. What to distinguish here is that, lower term come Tongki means the nature of the mind is not empty somewhat, but here says that, other than your Buddha nature, all is empty. The beginning we talked about Buddha nature. So now this case here saying Buddha nature is never decay, never despair, or the Buddha nature is always there, So here is saying, so what is the empty? The other empty meanings, other than Tathagata Garbha is empty. Other than Buddha nature is empty. Why this other than Buddha nature is empty? Because other than Buddha nature is all is dependent originated. Anything in the phenomenon is in the world, there is nothing dependent originated. All of them are one caused another, So everything what you name it, that's something caused by something, Everything is kind of dependent originated. So that case, our aggregate, and poisons, mind poison, even ego, all this kind of emptiness. Because of this heart emptiness, therefore we can dispel them. We remove them. So they are empty. There's not really existing there. We talk about ego, and ego torturing us, suffering, pain. But again, ego itself is not really existing. Why the ego is dependent originated. Whenever I say I, so that's I is because of some kind of, my ignorant. Ignorant things what in their real existence. I ignorant that truly existent there, then I put temporarily ego, Then ego become the big. But this is a kind of dependent originated because it's ignorant. If I'm ignorant, dispel the ignorant, or I have remedy of the ignorant, applying the very extensive wisdom, that ego is removed. Why he able to remove? Because he was the dependent originated. So that's kind of everything temporary obscurations, temporary strain are the empty. Because they're up to all their essence is empty. There is not really existing as you see. So everything relatively we see, when you not investigated, everything look real. And so we confuse what the real, then you really think this is real, and then we suffer ourselves, you know. But when you really examine through your wisdom, investigate the very detail, so then you can see they are not really existence. So when you are not examined, they are real. When you examine, you investigate in very detail, they are not existence. So why they are dependent originated. So therefore, anything since defilement, obscuration, and anything that against to nature of the mind, they are not really inherent existent. They are just empty. So name of the other empty meanings other than Tathagata Garbha is empty. So none of them really existence. But we are confused, not recognize them. And now we didn't put effort to analyze, reflect them. Then we feel there's something real there. Then this real to make your suffering pain, the suffering pain become real. And then our phenomena become very real. That makes we have samsara and nirvana as well. So therefore, we have to understand in this case, now we looking to the true nature of our mind is not like, temporary dependent originated, but they are truly existent. That is so strong to some people who are not familiar with this. Always Buddha said emptiness, but now we say everything empty, yes, what the Buddha says, but last, it is a true nature of the Buddha is never empties. So that is the kind of, Uttara Shastra says things like that, and I'm quoting some, but not. So here say, logarithm come tong ki lamen chi ki tong ma yin si se tedu. So that's logarithm tong come tong ki means empty by all the temporary stain obscurations. But lamen chi ki tong ma yin means actual true nature is impossible Buddha qualities never decay, never be, empty. It can be empty. Because that is the kind of 13, 82 minor mark and Buddha's quality and perfections. So benefit all sentient beings, all these things. So that case, if empty, then you have, when you kind of release empty, then you have nothing to do it, actually, there is no more path to go. You suffer, you suffer. You're happy and you're happy. You're unhappy, you're unhappy. So that is because of the things are, not, things are not really, related with the dependent originations. But here is talking about the clear light, clear light, emptiness. This is kind of very much breach close to the Mahamudra and Mahasanti practice as well. So that the case that such Buddha nature, now we have a Buddha enlightened nature, now Buddha. And so this Buddha is, we have to be, here's the quote of the Uttara-tantra Tantra says, Tila selja jiami yalbarsha jungze mes. So that case, the Buddha nature, Tila selja jiami is this Buddha nature, we need to remove anything that's something defect or unclear, impure there. We need to remove them. Questioning there. But here's the answer is in nothing. You don't need to move anyway. So why should not move? The first place, there are nothing impurity, strength. So therefore, nothing to purify, dispel, remove any bad quality. it would affect your Buddha nature. Nothing to remove. So that case, so that case here, if you don't need to remove anything, pure from beginnings, never defiled, never impure. Therefore, you need to remove anything. So that case, we may have added some good quality Buddha there. Say there's nothing slight, tiny you to put in the quality there. The quality you don't have to put anything because quality is spontaneously, primordially perfect. There is nothing imperfect there. So that case, the Buddha nature is kind of up to all, nothing to remove anything, nothing to put any good quality, nothing to remove any kind of bad quality. So this case, so now is Yangda Nila, Yangda Ta, Yangda Tone, number 12, it's the same continuation. So this case, how to liberate it, how to one can be able to wake up or recognize this, familiarize this. It doesn't mean I bring from somewhere. Doesn't mean my practice make Buddha. It doesn't mean my practice make remove the problem. The beginning, no problem. Beginning from Buddha, from Paramount, perfect. So, Yangda Nila Yangda Ta is meaning so something, Yangda Nila Yangda is so perfect, so complete. This. So you need to be recognized, or you wake up this. You have already, but you need to be wake up. You have to be acknowledged. So that is how I can do it. That is Yangda Nila Yangda Ta, meaning you need some perfect. This is so perfect that nothing there perfect than this. So Yangda Nila Yangda Ta means you look at this perfection by your perfect. You see, so that means that you need to have some kind of wisdom to look this. And so that's so perfect things there, but you know it's there already. I'm not seeing is because I have no light. I'm in the dark, but I see the lots of things there. What I needed is there, but I cannot see because it's too dark. So I need a light. There's so perfect things there in the dark, but I have no light, therefore I not see the perfect. What I have, the perfect and the precious there things. So that is, I need to perfect wisdom to see the perfect, these things already there. So that is the kind of dark room you put the piece of gold or any precious things, you never see that. You need light for to see this. So that same things Buddha nature is there perfectly, no need to edit, no need to remove, but in order to me see this, I need some bright, shining wisdom eye. So that wisdom I see not getting through hearing. That is excellent wisdom. So this means that the hearing, you hearing the teaching, that doesn't wake me up. Reflecting that teaching doesn't wake me up. That hearing teaching have I again some wisdom, reflecting teaching has some wisdom. But when I have but that wisdom cannot able to, I can see things what I have. That light is not enough. And they're giving ideas something, my switch there, light there. I have to operate these things, But that is the kind of hearing, the reflecting can give this idea. But I need to switch off that now. Only the problem when I switch off. Up, on. When you have on, That's the right thing to do it. And off, already off there, so you not need to off, So you have to switch on. So that case that what this was bright wisdom is kind of not from hearing, not from reflecting. And through the meditation, you gain some wisdom. So that wisdom is spring wisdom. That is excellent wisdom. That wisdom one can wake up, one can see that. So that means the hearing and reflecting is necessary, but this will not solve all problem. But actually you have to meditate, put in the meditations. Pretending meditation will not work. How long you did meditation, that's not work. Maybe you do how hardship you did it. You may stay in the jungle long time. And this doesn't work, but you need to have the true meditation wherever you are, So that is the true meditation is better and it's get resolved. So that case, that kind of through this true meditation will bring you the wisdom extraordinarily. Then that meditation light put on by your meditings, practicing, that light will be penetrated to all the darkness. Then you can see everything, never see before. And that is last. That is the one is kind of one you see. So that case, that is the kind of Uttara Shastra kind of giving the idea there. So this is the one continually. I had two shaloka quoted from the Uttara Shastra Tantra. So next, also I will give one quoting from Uttara Shastra Tantra. Tendam namki yeshidi madapai tokja means. So this is a kind of also nyeme kingkoro embarwa migbume betwa means. Tendam namki yeshidi madapai tokja means. So that is again Uttara Shastra Tantra have some quote to that. So that's to say that someone no eye, but sun shining bright, beautifully. But some blind eye cannot see the sunlight, sun bright, because he's blind. Similar like that, absolute Tendam namgi shiti means absolute wisdom is someone who does not have faith, devotion, and that is not subject to realizations. So that case here saying is that if someone have no trust, kind of competent, that this will be not realized, the absolute wisdoms, So that case there's kind of requires some kind of faith. But actually Mahamudra talked about lots of faith. I didn't use too much because there's a Westerner. Faith is some kind of very funny sometimes, But here kind of I'm quoting from the Uttara Shastra Tantra is kind of from the text come from the Buddha. Last he had the three training, first training of will of Dharma is kind of Saranat. He gave the Four Noble Truth teachings. Then second training will of Dharma is Paramita, is Vulture Faith. And then he also kind of last training of a will is the kind of in we call. So that is kind of, I know the Sanskrit is something I don't call now. So that Buddha has lived long time there. He said many times summary did there. Lots of teaching and miracle, everything, lots of activity he did that place. So this very place he gave the last teachings. So this last teaching is what we talk about, the basic mind only, philosophy come from those Buddha taught in that area. So the last teachings. So that teaching is the kind of more talk about this different things, other entities. So these are, Buddha give this teaching in last, like he teach, and also he had different place he teaches, but that's particularly one place he teaches there. So there's the teaching was Buddha giving, then Maitreya Buddha's Buddha's very expanded concept he put into the very short and simple way, the 5-volume text he put it. This is a kind of Abhidharma Sutra and the Uttara Shastra Tantra, then Uttara-tantra Shastra, that's 2 of them, very profound teaching. And then third one is Namje. So that 2, 3, 4, that's 5 volume actually, but all of the volume he teach and that condensed into the Uttara Shastra Tantra. And so that is he composed that. So that is the text I quoted because I'm make witness from the Buddha to the Maitreya Bodhisattva. And Maitreya Bodhisattva, the disciple Asanga, bring this teaching in the world. So that is the text, what I'm using here. So that is the kind of, he emphasized, he talked of the Buddha nature, also example of the Buddha nature. There's 9 different kind of examples giving the too much, some of them repeating all the same things sometimes, so I didn't go through. So anyway, this is the, according to the Buddha, Maitreya Buddha to the Asangas, that volume come to, that which is, I have been giving you this short, I think so now Lama Chewing that bring the text, and I told you to that text, we can comment on that, and Mahamudra actually now. So I think that this text, Lama Chewing providing everyone this, you can see the first one in the English, you can see the translation. This is, text itself is the Ninth Karmapa composed, and especially he composed this root text, root text of the preliminary practice, and then commentary. There is a great, very expanded commentary in this Ninth Karmapa himself commented, and that called Ocean of Certainty, which is translation is available, but they are restricted long time ago. I don't know nowadays. Some teachers have designed to you get that text. Otherwise, they don't give the value. So that text is a commentary on this also. And then Torch of Certainty, Mahamudra Rinpoche wrote one, and that is a very short one, but very, very contrasting. That we use that text, Torch of Certainty. And so nowadays, His Holiness Seventh Karmapa has a new edition of the Torch of Certainty, so you can see the more clear and Tibetan letters there too. So anyway, so that is now we are using that text again. So these you can see the Tibetans Korde Nyukin Selja Palantang. So now we're talking about the basic Mahamudra. It is these cholokas, this 4 line, was giving the basic Mahamudras, So here is Korde Nyukin Selja Palantang. So that meanings here say that samsara, nirvana, all the existence, nothing to reject it, nothing to accept it, nothing to remove, nothing to develop something inside. So Mahamudra says, you do not need to worry about samsara. You go to look at samsara, you're afraid, and you feel you have to run away from samsara. You don't have to do that, he says. And then also you don't need to chase nirvana to get someplace to hide and get enlightenment. There's nothing. So there is nothing samsara to dispel, nothing to accept nirvana. There's nothing to abandon, nothing to takings. So this Yume La Sukunde Kyungji, it is like the foundation of everything. But again, absent of everything, such as like existing and non-existing, etc., etc. So there is nothing existing and nothing non-existence. But at the same time, foundation of the existing and non-existence. So this case we can use the Mahamudra Milarepa with some. He beginning he says that so he says that tendam tembe onkine gomba peme gomba peme gomja means doja satan lamda means debukuta ishi means he and Milarepa sing the song. So he says it according or point of view, the absolute truth point of view, there are no meditator, there are no meditations. Then there is no path, no traveler, no sign. Therefore, there is no duration. The kaya or wisdom. So that means the three kaya, we talk about these things. So he has said there is no kaya, no wisdoms. And there is no nirvana. So that's here he giving said, there's no name of nirvanas. You talking of nirvana, you're confused. There are no nirvanas. First place, there is no meditator, no meditations. If you order to meditate, you need a meditator. The Milarepa says, there are no meditator. Why are you meditating then? In order to meditate, you have the meditator. So there are no path, no trouble, no path, different stage, no traveler on the path. So no sign, different stage, different sign. So therefore, no result for Dharmakaya or wisdoms. So you should not expect no nirvana there. So this is kind of what is a korde in Seljan Pangla means. It's a kind of, this word is he putting there together. And there is no necessary to you conceptualize yourself to such practice and practitioner path, traveler, and a result, no wisdom and such. And that is all concept. That is not needed. So next one, it was kind of the Yume La Sukunde Kingishi. So it's the same, it's the kind of existent, non-existent, etc. Not that concept is absence. That concept that non-existent, non-existent. This is kind of no really exists or non-existent. That concept is completely free. Concept is absent of that. But at the same time, this foundation of everything. The mind is getting enlightenment. You have to work on the enlightenment. A mind also make the mistake, the suffering, the pain. So that is also like really conceptualizing the mind and manifesting their things. But actually there is nothing really all, but it is basic foundation is the mind. But again, the mind does not have anything existent or non-existence. He says next, that's also Milarepa just saying, Kamsum tenta yorjes, dun madu kyoamis, jime henji kibanes, ledan leki naminnes, teacher kore minyames. Again, that's the case. He say, all the intimate, unintimate, three world. Kamsum tenta yorje means Kamsum is a three world. Dakam, Zukam, Zumekam we call. So that is kind three world. Dakam is desire realm. Zukam is form realm. Zumekam is a formless realm. The three, all the samsara is included there, three realms. So this three realm is not really truly existent, says that, The consum tenta yor just come and then the three world, there's a 10 yor meaning 10 meaning the existence of the world, yor meaning living being living there inside of the existence in the earth, phenomena, But consum tenta yor just so all these in a three realm, intimate, unintimate. Then the Madhukyoame from beginnings not established, not existent, unborn, non-existent, beginning, not there something beginning there. Then so that meaning all the phenomena, everything is not really existent, unborn. Comes in then the Madhukyoame is. So there is no convergence and the baseless. Yimel henchikiman is baseless, nothing base, something to say, some kind of things there, subject to put things there. There are no basically anything, baseless. So this kind of, from beginning, Madhuks and doing the Madhuk from beginning, primordially not established or not have foundation there. Doing the Madhuk Kyoamis. So that's nothing existing, anything in the samsara. So let and leki namin means there's no karma, no karmic maturations. So this is kind of what in the saying is that is all this samsara is the kind of foolish to be say I have to get out from samsara, get out from the sufferings. But that is not existing from beginnings. And up to all, there's no karma and no karmic maturations. That all is my concept. I gathering the all information, getting software myself, and the karma become big things to do. But actually, natural of its own Mahamudra side, there is nothing really truly existent there. So therefore, nothing to worry about things. So therefore, this is the key say, and this is the kind of last sentence say, Neluji chaja chitoksho. So this is the kind of, all the basic nature of the Mahamudras. So that's the meaning that nothing really inherent existing at all. So therefore, nothing to go somewhere, or nothing to run away from somewhere. So therefore, look like this is the basic of the Mahamudra we call. Basically, Mahamudra is like, the basic Mahamudra is as there's no existence at all, whatsoever. So I'm prayer this Chaja Chitoksho means may I realize this great Mahamudra. And that is the Mahamudra we talk about. And that Mahamudra I need to realize. I pray to great master who have been go through and attain such realizations, I pray you bless me. I may realize this from my, true nature as it is, So that is the kind of basic Mahamudra they call, So basic Mahamudra, that's kind of pause. Giving here is the kind of basic Mahamudra, part Mahamudra, result Mahamudra. That is what we're talking about now, Mahamudra. So now is kind of talking about the Fat Mahamudra. So this case, we are going to actually Mahamudras. It's not like talking of just emptiness as like Sutra emptiness, but it's more Mahamudra. But they different way to talk. This is one way to talk. And I using this 9 Karmapas root text, who he wrote in the Ngendo text. A Guru Yoga practice, up to you lineage prayer, and then root Guru prayer. Then we have the Idam prayer, protected prayer, and then ask them to pray. This is what I want to realize. So you please bless me. So this is a part Mahamudra we pray. This is the part Mudra I want to realize. So the next one is Tokja, Tokje, Tokpa, Mamikshins. So this case now again, this is part Mahamudra, Tokja, Tokje, Tokpa, Mamikshins. So here says, Tokja means what I want to realize is the Mahamudra. Tokje means the realizations. And originally, who I want to be realized, and this Mahamudra. So there is kind of object to realization, and a subject, one who I am the realizer, so who I'm going to realize, and then realizations. First, we realize the person who realizing things, and second is the method of the realizations, and third is the what the realizations. These 3 things there. So here's the 9 Karmapa says that Mamikshing is there's no existence such things. There's nothing such thing to imagine or think these things. No realizer, no the realization of what we need to realize. There's not. So Milarepa says here also Gompa was in Zemeti. That's good. His Tawa Tongpe hymns. So this case, it's Yalaman Swati, Chilab to courage. The witch Ambos, pull up Susa Zanage. Tayu Semla, Tony Shara, Tajin Dulsame, Taja Tornato, Tai Doctor Zanagens, Gombo was a Chu Jun, Gomju Samsung Jume, Gomja Gomje Tornate, Gombini Zanagens, what they. So Gompa was a Chu Juns, so this case he talking about that not in realization, realizer, and whatever realizing. So this case here he says, meditation is the continuing like water flow, river flow, water river flow. So there is no meditation, no pause session, no actual session. He doesn't have the meditation session. And then he doesn't have also the post meditation. So what is meaning is like waterfall, like continually sustaining. He's staying the meditation all the time. There is nothing to divide session and post session, So So there is nothing he need to do so. Gomba Chujin, Gomba is Chujin, Gomji Tunjab Zunjame, Gomja Torn Tals. So this case, he's a meditator, and the meditation fed away, subside. He doesn't have any concept of the meditating and meditations. So this is he said, Gombe Ingru Zang Chungs, my hard-born diligent become well done. So that means put effort to meditate. Up to all, meditation become quite well, very good. So this is a Tokja meaning that he doesn't have meditating, a meditator, and realizations. So he transcended all of them. On the path, this is what walk on the path, because there is nothing to work. So Dibja, Dibapame Paras. So next one is the Dibja, Dibapame Paras. So one is the who obscure. And what is obscurations? What is the kind of freeing the obscurations? So therefore, he says here, he doesn't have the person who obscures, therefore no obscurations. So there no need to be put effort to avoiding the obscurations. So therefore, he said, mainly saying that the actual true nature of minds totally descending in the luminosity. So therefore, no one obscure, no obscurations, and there are no concept of pre-obscurations. So this case, he said, Dorje Lamla Rabde base, and he says that he go beyond the path of the traveler and path. He go beyond the path and traveler on the path, which meaning he transcended everything concept of, on the path. The path itself become actual things. So this in the last he's here saying, say, may I perfected path Mahamudras. So this is again this poor sentence giving on the path. There is such not need to be anything to conceptualize yourself meditating a meditator and the meditation. Resolve, avoiding obscuration, how to obscurations, how to abandon obscuration. Those concepts doesn't exist there. So I don't have to be walk on the path, because the possibility is away. I'm who work at the person is not there. The path doesn't there. So I go beyond of the path. So then this is the kind of prayer to us to be realized that such things the Milarepas are using, and this text, Milarepa's text together. So this way, he may perfected path Mahamudras. So this kind of ended path Mahamudras. So next one is kind of resolve Mahamudras. Topja, Toba Mamixings. So this meaning here he says Topja, Topje. There's no one who looking for the obtaining Mahamudra. And then also there's what you wish to get obtaining Mahamudra obtaining what the subject to obtain, that's not existent there either. So therefore, not have anything obtaining, to looking for something to get there. So this is pretty much, Parajam parameters, Tobayame, Matobayame, Zumi, Dame, Deme, Rome, Rexam, Chimeto, Niki Kamebane, Iki Kamebody Yamato, number. So that's kind of last week's the sentence say, Topayami, Matopayamis. So this case, he said that not striving to obtaining theirs, to obtain, not need that. There's no one there. And not obtaining. So again, there's no, I have not necessary to obtain. And so in that case, I'm not obtaining that. There is no not obtaining either. So that is kind of saying is that is if you are able to obtain something there, you need someone to obtain, Somebody need to obtain and something to obtain there. So this is kind of not existence of the obtaining who obtaining, what obtain. And then you have this concept of obtaining is kind of not existent there. So therefore, you're not chasing to get resolved to Mahamudra. The Mahamudra has nothing to obtain. So, so their case, inseparable basic operations. It is not have true, there's abandoning something to and obtaining something. They're not true obtaining and abandon, but abandoning. So because inseparable of the operation and basics. So basic Mahamudra we talk about. And then result Mahamudra we talk about two. They are not two. They're in one. They're inseparable in fact. One, like water putting water. So this case, the Mahamudra is prayer, we daily praying this. So it is not existent something there because past Buddha do not anything see there. Yes, then nothing there because the basic of the samsara nirvanas. So this exist and non-exist and not contradicted. Not contradicted this too, but it is part of the unions, meanings. And for example, mind essence is empty. The mind nature is clear light. So that mind nature is a mind essence empties. So nothing we can see color and shape. But you can see everything, you can hear, you can see, you smell, you taste, you feel. Everything you can see. Everything clear, all the sense organs. But that's the clarity. Clarity of the mind is to appear to outside, then we clinging, they becomes against our happiness. If you recognize these are the all is nature of the mind, empty of the mind. It not empty means not like house empty, water empty, cup empty, or this, not like that. The empty means that is totally not have, grasping, holding as like tangibles. But at the same time, that empty is bright and shining. You can hear, you can see, everything you can see, but clinging nothing. That is the kind of normally we know that, When you look at your mind, and Gompopa has one time, Gompopa is a retreat in a cave, and he has an old woman who give him champa, some kind of brali, Tibetan things, they eat that. So she was grounding, very clean, nice, big triangle, and she thinks he's a great master, a meditator, and he give offering for all time. So Gampopa thought, well, I have to do something this woman to get better. I realized. And then he taught some special fit instruction to her. So one day she came and she said, sit down next to me here and near here. I want to tell you something. Simple, meditate, but I'm giving you simple idea for you to meditations. So then she said, oh, I'm really glad if you can do this. Please bestow me. So he gave that kind of fit instruction. And simply, he said, you look at your mind. Can you see color, shape? Or you see anything the mind has, anything you can say, word, what it look like? You don't see anything, but actually you see the empty. That is the essence of your mind. Then you can see, daily you see things. Some nice, some not nice. You hear something nice and not nice. Sometimes you don't pay attention. And sometimes you taste good, taste not good. Sometimes it doesn't matter. Sometimes you feel good. Sometimes you feel not good. Sometimes you don't have feel of bad and good. So you can see the three things going on there. When you see good, and that's the attachment. Sometimes you don't see not good. That's the anger. Sometimes you don't pay attention. It's not attachment, not anger to you, but you deny it. That's called ignorance. So actually these you recognize their essence is completely not really existent. Just appear because of the mind essence manifesting the nature. Everything appears is nature of your mind. But then that essence of that nature is not different from emptiness of your mind. So look like everything's empty, look in direct to your mind, and then look outside, everything appear. You can hear, you seeing something. If you don't attach, leave them as it is. Don't grab or resist it, exist it, accept it or reject it, but leave as it is. Then you can see the essence of your mind, nature of your mind, both, and relax on these. So Gampopa instructed her, and she became disappeared a rainbow body. That guy saw someplace there. So this is the same things. We're talking so many things. Condense what that is. That actually mind is empty. Everything's clear light. So Milarepa is singing lots of songs on that, about clear light, Tawa Tongbi Gombo is the main. View is kind of view is Tawa Tongbi view is empty wisdom. Gombo wisdom means the meditation is the clear light without clinging. So again, I can see if I have not lazy, that one word can help me lots if I can put into. So Gompa Wessel means the meditation is clear light without clinging. everything appear from our empty mind is kind of appearance of nature. If I don't clinging of the appearance, that's the meditations. So up to all conclusion is the clinging, grasping become very big obstacle for us to liberate it. Really need to have to understanding of our obscuration, clinging to the object, subject. And so these are the interesting things. But then also this can lead by that in our attachment. Of course, now distracting our meditations, anger distracting our meditations, and then ignorance distracting our meditations, as we used to talking about sinking and excitements. So that the excitement is come from anger and desire. And this make our meditation become not progressing because of the one of them can be there obstructing us, Then also sometimes we have the very stupid, physically not useful, not let to sit down, and then that bring our mind lazy to bring our mind to settle down to this still on the object, and then then will be sinking comes. They basically ignore kind of cloudy mind, unclear mind, begin to sinking. The sinking becomes subtle level and gross level. They're two different things. That's obscuring our practice. But when you are Mahamudra, they have that case we have over that. Because when you are beginning Shine practice, they are very much obstructing. Shine become more mature, more high level of your concentration, and bring those excitement and thinking become more active. So this is very, very important to make sure, acknowledge it. Your ego is kind of controlling you and then manifesting their anger or desire and sometimes ignorance, Great master of Laopa is one of the meditation of Mahamudra. He learned by many different examples. When he was on the mountain meditating, and he saw one bird and carrying the one fish. But all the bird from behind the bird not allow him to eat the fish and are just bothering, even flying, even landing, they just bothering. And up to all, that bird have another bird took the fish. And that time, the guys and the great master Laopa saw before carrying the fish, up to he fish let go, he is very comfortable. He have no worry about chasing him or taking him. He is very quiet, clear, himself very comfortable. So that time he learned, he says, whatever possession I have, I would have so many enemies attracting, take away from me and they want to use this. So I have to let go everything, bring my mind peace, calm. So he learned from the bird, see that they're doing bird. So he learned that detached all the samsara, So there's lots of, he gave the example also, One time he was meditating and he saw some woman grounding the incense, incense they put in the rock, the hand they put, rubbing the incense to make the powder, And then he saw that she doing that. But Indian women have lots of put in the hand, and both hand has so many things putting there. And when he grounding the powder, it make lots of noise and discomposing the grounding. So what she did is finally she took all the things from her both hand and she grounded. Very simply, easily she can ground it. So then he also learned how to not possess things, belong to you, the wealth and prosperity, whatever. So more you have, more disabled, difficult to you are not allowed comfortable yourself. So he learned that way. She does that and she thinks she may comfortable also do things easily. So he says he learned from that. Then also they had lots of them. I can say a few, one example more, but he says again he was meditating and he saw the kind of hole there. And this hole has the snake there. But the snake has lots of baby snake there. And then he saw the snake was very uncomfortable there because all the snake baby rolling around and making the very discomforting to sleep. And then this snake was come out from the hole, going far away. She lived and she's sunbathing. She's so quiet. And she realized, and he also realized himself, samsara is so bad. You have to leave where you are related, your family. Avoid it. Go some far away. And you have more comfortable. You don't have to worry about anyone bothering you. So he thinks that way. He learned that way finally, and he become a great Mahasiddha Lawapa. There's 84,000 Mahasiddha in India. He's the one of them, So that he has lots of examples like that. So this is again, the Mahamudra teachings required lots of things to detach, let go, renounce. And also the Kajuba lineage, every lineage, and I can see that most of the realized being are the let go everything. Most of them stay mountain and cave. Then his story comes how great master they become. So these are the kind of most, contribute condition for realizing Mahamudras. But we are in the United States, in a different country and different time, and this will be hard to have this kind of conditions, but we can do our best. Try to less ego, less clinging, and then you do less and less, that will be better than just try to attempting avoiding everything once. Then you'll not do anything after all. So slow down little by little. Every day you do something good. And meditation is like that too. So every day, at least you can stay twice, short or long, up to you. And then not give up. Meditation it doesn't mean to meditation. Many people in West, I understand that. Sometimes we know, I think we think, I meet the lamas, I receive the teaching, I can get enlightened maybe week, maybe tomorrow even. So that kind of expectation, this is too much, that is not the happenings. In the meditation, you meditate, your meditation will bring lots of obstacles as well, But that time, you are great. You can overcome that obstacle without stopping your meditation. Continually meditate, you overcome the obstacle problem, then you are good. When obstacle come, then you let go your practice. The obstacle win. Enemy win, you lost. When continually practice, good practice, become more problem, but you overcome problem while you practicing. Even you cannot do more deeper, more farther, more duration. If you can do, that's the best. Not just do it as normal. Someday, non-stop you practicing, but overcome the problems. Because the problem we have long time, many lifetime, we do negative karmas. We can see now, every day, we can think of before you sleep, what I did today, what I say, thinking carefully. Even I say something, maybe not good, maybe harmful to other people. Sometimes I'm gentle, nice. My motivation is not good. My motivation would get myself name, fame, look good from other people. I don't have sincere kindness, loving toward to people, gentle, nice. I may have done gentle, nice for my own purpose. Maybe I can do something, good things, but this is the same things again, my own purpose, name and fame. So up to we can see I try to do this. Maybe I did this and this, something good. Yes, I did this, that. Up to all count what my motivation was. My motivation was not correct. So that means that again, your good is not complete good, but not pure good. So therefore, very important, motivated, mindful to our mind, what kind of motivation we are, where we doing. We expecting the one session, 1 month practice retreat, we want to get something. But we can say every day, what are you doing? Think of that, compare that. So that one man practice cannot too much knock out our negative. Even on retreat where motivation is not pure, perfect enough sometimes, So it's very important to motivate some good heart. When you say on YouTube, from your depth of your heart. So that is, we know we have one of the great learner, we call the Pakpa Ngulchu Tome. He says that something our motivations. Motivation, he says that, don't expect it return. And don't expect it creation and future. Lenta, namin mirewe, jimbatang jese lali. So even then he says that Chanchu debe lujan tongi na chirog nipu nang la tashimes. Tichi lenta namin mirewe, jimbatang jese lali. So that is kind of, he says it. Someone who really you dedicate to get enlightenment. So that case, yes, your own body you can sacrifice to give the other benefit, your own body. So that is someone who really seriously get enlightenment. They have that motivation, need to like that. So therefore, normal material, no problem. External material, you don't have to, concern, because they have to give up their life for the getting enlightenment. But the material is not big deal. This is not my body, give. So this reason, this purpose, therefore, you lenta namin means that you do not expecting anything return what you give, and not expecting to creation next life. Not hope like this. Then you give without that. You give. That is generosity way the Bodhisattva give. So that's what they say, you know. So that is the kind of way. This is again, Mahamudra gate is nothing you need to do it, but get there is kind of, you need to be, yes, there's many people hearing the teaching, oh, Mahamudra is so simple, I don't have to do anything. And normally Mahamudra is a Tamal Gishepa, meaning you don't have to do it. Live your mind as ordinary. Means you don't edit anything in the mind to concept and not a conceptualize, intellectualize. Leave mind as it is. Leave your mind as it is, the Buddha. That calls Tamalkishepa, we call it. Ordinary mind, ordinary cognitions, you know. So that's simple like that. You leave your mind as ordinary. That's all you needed. But can we live that way? No. Every second where mind is crazy. You know, so therefore we don't know how to do it. It doesn't mean you cannot do it, but we need to put effort. Immediately we become not like Bodhisattva, like, you know, immediately we cannot great master and great, you know, meditator. You can do simply every day, think of the positive things, do positive things, and do my best to say the positive things. But mainly, whatever you say, whatever you not important, whatever you're thinking while you're doing, this is less important. Beginnings, this become Mahamudra as it is itself. Lama Ching, where we are now time?
It is 2:54.
So you want to take question or now if any question come so far?
I have two questions from Craig and Deborah Jenke. And and that's so that's what I have right now. Would you like me to read them?
I guess so.
Okay. So Craig and Deborah Jenke asked two questions. One, please explain what the four joys are. And two, how does the indescribable joy arising with egolessness you spoke of last Saturday compare to the four joys?
Okay, so the simple question answer is that poor joy is not the path, and the last question is the result. I don't think this will be satisfied, but I can go through. And poor joy is actually, it is kind of Gawaji, we call it poor joy. This is kind of on the Vajrayana creation stage practice that poor joy is kind of, so, okay. Choga. So I think that's right now I don't have ready to say that poor joy. Okay, so that's the kind of joy, each different stage, and that is way we visualizing the deities, and then with kind of descending, that transcending of the bindu, that time, that different state of joy. So these are the on the path, you know, it is not resolved. So that's called so choga, excellent joy, kegas, special joy, the four of them. So now some actually, when in Vajrasattva we had ha-ha, it's like a 2-time ha-ha right there. So that is four joys, you know, symbolizing by this mantra of ha-ha, like that. And so this excellent joy, choga, kega, excellent joy, special joy, I think. So that's true. But there's more, you know, two joys is kind of lower than that, so which is I cannot pronounce. So that have to be experienced through visualizing the deities yoga practice in a high tantric practice. And so that time, each time you visualizing that have to have the different stage of the bindu fall down from the forehead and throat and heart center and the navel, so that 4 different places fall down, and sometimes forehead and throat and the navel, and then in the joint in the heart, both from the up and down. There is a kind of, that's why do it. This is kind of I cannot fully explaining because not allowed and to up until initiation and you practice. So and there is I could clarify more, but his name is there's 2 of them called excellent joy and special joy. But the 2 of them I not ever call now because I'm not planning, so so I'm lazy a little bit and not homework. So I may give some time this answer. And then that is the 4 joys half answer, right? And so what about another one? That's, she said another joy too, right?
They had a second question. How does the indescribable joy arising with egolessness you spoke of last Saturday compare to the 4 joys?
I see. Well, that case kind of, again, so indestructible joys, that is the joy that is beyond concept, beyond concept. But before is with the conceptual, little bit conceptual, but again, you visualizing that. And this time, this case, transcending everything's existence, non-existence. So that call, I think that's high joy, yes. But again, when you are practicing, and then you may know more. Even I can, this case, I don't think I can publicly talk about this. Because the protector and the lineage will be punished. All kind of, I violating my samaya. So, but this much I can say. One is the kind of beyond concept, and one is the kind of creation stage practice of the Vajrayana, and this is called the joy. Yes. So, okay.
They look happy. So I have another question from Jim Johnson.
Okay.
And so he says, the teaching is all phenomena are empty of existence. As the Lord Buddha was born in a realm of dependent origination, it follows that his existence too is an illusion empty of true nature. Is it the third turning of the wheel, as stated in the Uttara-tantra Shastra, that creates an exception to the emptiness teaching, establishing Buddha nature as permanent and not subject to decay as all other phenomena are? So he says, please.
I see. Well, all the phenomena is, as we say, depending originated. And Buddha nature is not depending originated, spontaneously. And so Buddha nature is the kind of Buddha from beginnings. So nothing to add good quality or Buddha quality there, because already beginning spontaneously have quality perfected and do not need to dispel pure from beginnings. So that is the Buddha nature. So that is not by contribute by any conditions. It's kind of spontaneous permanently. And so that is kind of because of the Buddha nature is kind of existent as not existent, or do you say today exists, tomorrow not existed? In this case, it existent means beyond existence, beyond emptiness, maybe say. So that is kind of empty beyond emptiness. So emptiness in normally case, cup empty, house empty, it's a lot of empty there. But this case, empty beyond empty, because meaning that normally other Madhyamika give the emptiness, but everything totally empty, nothingness. But then this last turning of the will Dharma giving is that it's empty, but without originated and dependent. And also that is not composed by anything. It helps him or this may confuse him.
I think that's a perfect answer. So I hope that helps him.
And so I know he is a more very interesting man. Always he have good question. This is very good question actually, you know. But the Buddha, yes, Buddha, he's also beginning. He said Buddha was come to the dependent originated world, you know. So Buddha come to this originated world. He's deliberately manifested himself for benefit of this Confucian world, Confucian beings, to help. He came. It doesn't mean he was kind of accidentally he fall down like this kind of world. See, not. He's kind of deliberately, he choose to come here to liberate other beings who confuse. But it doesn't mean he was, as you know, thinks that we are as like this world, impermanence, and dependent originated. He doesn't see that way, but he came deliberately to, as according to our perceptions. We see the existence, we have suffering, pain, we believe the happiness, we believe the suffering, we have the good, we have the bad, all these things. And he came this world to help us not understanding and confused out of his compassion, came here to benefit all sentient beings. But he doesn't mean himself to come here deliberately, come suffer here. And he did everything look like suffering, but this is he demonstrating for us. He go through, finally liberate. So this is he just demonstrating us how to get away from this Confucian world.
Rinpoche, I have a follow-up question myself.
Oh, okay.
So the Buddha said that his teachings would last for 5,000 years, and that could be shortened or lengthened according to the diligence and devotion of the Buddhist followers and practitioners. So my question is, if we diligently practice on Buddha Dharma, and let's just say that we don't attain realization within the next 5,000 years, would our practice not then help us be born into a realm where the Buddha's teachings are manifesting there, so that we can continue our Dharma practice with all of the conditions?
I see. So you mean, in case we're not liberated by this number of the Buddha and the Dharma existing here, his doctrine, we're not getting enlightenment. We may have the other place to practice Dharma to liberate ourselves. That's what you're talking about?
That's my question.
I see. Yes, I think that is the, we have continually practiced that way. The karma will be bring to something place where you can practice Dharma. That depending, it doesn't mean this world is ended, then completely empty everything. So there's another realm will be have all the system of 6 realm, and also some progenitor realm where it's Buddha teachings, a different Buddha teaching. And due to our karma, if we are strong enough, our practice and devotion, faith, and this will bring some place where you can get enlightenment, continually practice, yes.
Thank you. And Jim Johnson also says, thank you very much.
Thank you for James. He's a very nice guy, yes. Thank you, Lama Chuing, also your question. So anything?
So far, no other questions yet.
Okay, so I hope I made totally complete teaching this and extra teaching I giving, and I hope you can use it the whole 6 teachings, and I thought the purpose, and this time we need this teaching, and especially last 4 talk was, I think, I try to make my best to get into touch the basic essential point. So I hope you all get some information and useful. And so there is Lama Jimba was talking. Did you talk to Lama Jimba? Or he call you or anything? About he asking me some teaching also.
Oh, yes. I discussed with him briefly about, I think his question was calling Lama from afar practice.
Yes. So I think people are participating in Lama Jimba teachings. I'm very happy continually, and you participated and received teaching. And Lama Chuing have teaching and practicing in every Sunday or Saturday, I think.
Saturday.
Saturday. So I hope you all join and practicing, learning from them. And so I, very happy they are doing that, and it makes more a little bit relax me to concern of the not getting teaching a student. Is somebody they giving between place different teaching. And thank you very much. So anything, anyone said anything? No?
Terry and Richard Bradley say, thank you very much. Rinpoche, you have been most generous. We love you and hope to be with you soon.
Thank you very much. I hope to see you soon too.
Rinpoche, because we have these 7 very wonderful Dharma teachings, maybe I could share the Kunsan dedication prayer from
Please,
the Shenrezi
yeah.
text.
Yes, please.
Okay, let me go ahead and share, and everybody can see this. Kunsan Dorje Janchen Drenchen Zawe Lama Yenche Ki Rowe Dondo Manam Katapa Dera Tamshe Dagi Tupasho Zonam Di Tamse Sepani Tone Nepe Dranam Pamjene Kege Nache Bala Chubayi Sipe Zule Drowa Shu Jamba Bawa Sheta Kyabadam Kundo Zambo Dayan Dejinte Deda Gungi Zazu Dalop Shing Gewa Deda Tamshe Raptumo Gewa di kewo kun sonam yeshe sotsote sonam yeshe lejunwe tamba kuni tobarjo zanye kuzun nepe jenatan chuni migyo tempe jenatan Gendo meche tumbe shenapki jita ngawa monam rupa sho.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rinpoche. On behalf of many people here.
I see the Yana there. I don't see anyone.
Oh, we have 25 people here.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.